Most of us spend our lives blaming someone else, our boss, our past, our circumstances. We look outward, searching for the reasons we don't move forward. But what if the real obstacle isn't out there? What if the real battle is inside you? Your fears, your doubts, your own mind working against you. The part of you that wants change, but pulls back at the last moment. The part of you that says, not now, maybe never. This is the enemy Nietzsche warned us about. Not an external force, but the struggle within ourselves. Friedrich Nietzsche was one of the greatest thinkers to explore this idea. He knew the path to growth is not easy. It demands facing your own contradictions, your weaknesses, your resistance. In this video, we will explore Nietzsche's powerful insights about why you are your own worst enemy, and how understanding this truth can be the first step toward your freedom. Friedrich Nietzsche had a clear and sharp view of human nature. He believed the greatest enemy you face is not outside of you, it's inside. He didn't see the self as fixed or simple. Instead, he believed that the self is a process, always changing, always conflicted, made of desires, fears, habits, and beliefs, many that we never consciously chose. In his work Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche introduced the idea of the overman, a higher, stronger version of yourself that pushes beyond limits and grows through struggle. But transformation is not easy. There is a part inside you that resists change, the side that clings to comfort, routine, and the familiar, even if it keeps you stuck. This inner resistance is the true enemy. It traps you in cycles of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. It prevents you from becoming who you are capable of being. Nietzsche said many live like prisoners of their own will, not because they lack desire, but because their will is controlled by old fears and habits. To grow, you must master yourself, recognize this resistance, and overcome it. Without this struggle, real growth is impossible. That's why Nietzsche said you must have chaos within to give birth to something new. This conflict inside you is not just a barrier. It's the fuel for your transformation. Self-sabotage often hides in subtle ways. It's the voice that says, "I'll start tomorrow." It's the excuse that keeps you from taking the first step. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable feeling of holding two opposing beliefs at the same time. You want to change, but you fear the cost. You want growth, but cling to old habits. You dream big, but surround yourself with small thinking. This creates an invisible war inside you, between the part that wants progress and the part that wants safety. Nietzsche understood this inner battle well. He said, "He who cannot obey himself will be commanded," meaning if you don't control yourself, others or circumstances will control you. Many live reacting to the world instead of choosing their own path. They believe they are free, but are trapped by past wounds and social pressure. To truly become who you want to be, you must face and defeat the part of yourself that resists change. This inner fight is difficult, because it means letting go of old identities. The ego fears losing control, but growth requires transformation. Nietzsche saw this not as a loss, but as evolution, a necessary process to become stronger and more authentic. To grow, you must be willing to break your old patterns, to unlearn what holds you back, to let parts of yourself die, so a better self can emerge. This is not easy or comfortable. It's a deep inner revolution, and only you can fight this battle. But knowing about this inner enemy is just the start. The question is, how do you overcome it? Nietzsche offers a concept called the will to power. This isn't about power over others, but power over yourself. It's the drive to grow, to create, to push beyond your limits. The will to power means taking responsibility for your own life. Not blaming others or circumstances, but facing your fears and doubts head on. It means choosing to act, even when it's hard, even when your inner resistance screams, "Stay safe." This power is the force behind self-mastery. It's what transforms weakness into strength. But it requires courage. The courage to face your shadows, your fears, your mistakes, your limits. Because only by confronting the darkest parts of yourself can you unlock your true potential. This is the essence of Nietzsche's philosophy. Life is struggle, but in that struggle lies freedom and growth. You are your own worst enemy, but also your own greatest ally. The choice is yours. Will you stay trapped by your inner resistance? Or will you embrace the challenge and become the person you were meant to be? Knowing that your greatest enemy lives within you is just the first step. The real challenge is learning how to overcome that internal resistance. Nietzsche's idea of the will to power can help us understand this. It's not about controlling others or dominating the world. It's about mastering yourself. It's the drive inside every person to grow, create, and push beyond their own limits. In psychological terms, this relates to the ability of self-regulation, managing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors so they align with your long-term goals, even when it's difficult. When your mind wants to give up or avoid discomfort, self-regulation helps you keep going. But this isn't easy. Inside us, there is often a part that clings to comfort and safety, even if that means staying stuck in harmful patterns. This inner resistance is what causes self-sabotage, when you act against your own best interests without fully realizing it. This resistance comes from deep fears, fear of failure, fear of change, or even fear of success. It creates a tension inside that pulls you in two directions: the desire to grow and the desire to stay the same. Philosophers like Søren Kierkegaard talked about this tension as well, describing it as the existential anxiety we feel when faced with making important choices. To move forward, you must take a leap of faith. That is, choose to act despite uncertainty and fear. Modern psychology supports this idea. Therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, show us that much of our self-sabotage comes from patterns of negative thinking and distorted beliefs. When we become aware of these thoughts, we can challenge and change them. At the same time, Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self reveals that parts of ourselves we reject or ignore don't disappear. They influence our behavior in hidden ways. Facing your shadow means recognizing these hidden fears and desires instead of pushing them away. Nietzsche's call for embracing chaos within is about accepting this internal conflict, instead of pretending it doesn't exist. It's by facing the discomfort and struggle inside you that real growth becomes possible. This process, confronting your fears, managing your thoughts, and taking responsibility for your life, is the essence of what Nietzsche called the will to power. It's the force that drives you to overcome yourself and become stronger. The journey to self-mastery is difficult because it forces you to break habits, let go of familiar identities, and confront uncomfortable truths. But it's the only way to break free from being your own worst enemy. Ultimately, the power to change lies within you. You are both the problem and the solution. The journey to overcome your inner enemy is not a quick fix or an easy path. It requires patience, honesty, and courage. You must be willing to face your fears, challenge your habits, and accept responsibility for your choices. Nietzsche reminds us that life itself is a constant struggle. But within that struggle lies the chance for freedom and transformation. The battle is not to eliminate conflict inside you, but to use it as fuel for growth. You are your own worst enemy, but also your greatest potential. Every moment you resist change, you delay becoming who you truly are. Every moment you choose to confront your inner resistance, you take a step toward freedom. Remember, self-mastery is not about perfection. It is about the ongoing effort to understand yourself better, to break free from limiting beliefs, and to live authentically. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop blaming outside forces? Are you willing to face the discomfort inside? Are you prepared to take control of your life and become the person Nietzsche called the overman? Someone who constantly overcomes and creates themselves anew? The power to change lies in your hands. The struggle happens inside, and only you can claim the victory. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on your own inner struggles. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into philosophy, psychology, and self-growth. And share your thoughts in the comments. How do you face your own inner enemy? Remember, the journey is yours to lead.